This session is about the clear understanding of converting a high-level language program into machine-level language. All we human beings used to write program in English-like statements, which we have covered in the last session. As a computer which is made of electronic components, it can understand only zeros and ones. How the conversion from high-level language to low-level language and in turn from the low-level language to high-level language to display the results are being done is going to be understood through this session. In addition to this conversion, we expect it's not only enough to convert a high-level language to low-level language, rather we require the system to be very smart in terms of denoting the errors as well. Let's try to explore how this could be done. Normally, all of us are used to type some documents in Microsoft Word. When I start pressing my keys, what are the keys? Those are the representative symbols that you can use in this application, which is Microsoft Word. It is a known fact that not all the symbols of the keyboard can be used in all the software. Let's say you go to banking software, it prohibits the usage of right click. Similarly, every application has their own restrictions on the usage of symbols, and that forms sigma. Sigma is nothing but the list of all characters that you can use. So whenever I am pressing a key, so when I am typing the keys, this is getting recognized by the system. But when I type some key which is not to be accepted by this language, even if I press, either a warning will be given to me or else it will not accept. This is the first stage, right? Or every character that is being typed has to be checked whether it is part of the character set of the defined language or not. Hello, learners. Learners, purposefully I am changing the spelling of it. Now, when I type some other word and press spacebar, you could see a red mark over here. What does it mean? The system, Microsoft Word, at the back is running a spell checker. The spell checker will check the correctness of each and every word by mapping into the dictionary which is at the back. The dictionary will have all the list of words that are supported by the corresponding language. This is not supported and hence you are thrown with the error. Now I am going to type one sentence. When I press enter key or press the space bar, automatically it gives a green symbol. What does it mean? If you right click, you can check. It is asking you to consider revision of the fragment. Fragment is a sentence that you have written. And it is suggesting appropriate grammar for making it right. Microsoft Word is running a grammar checker at its back to check the syntax of the statements. Syntax refers to the structure of English statements that you are writing. When we place a question mark at the end of a line, it means it should have a question verb at the starting. So initially the characters are being checked, then the words are being checked, then the syntax is being checked. Even if the syntax is right, it may ask you to consider revision, in which case the meaning of the sentence may go wrong. Here, hello learners, it's an appropriate statement from our end, but grammar checking option here, meaning that the meaning of this sentence is not properly interpreted by the system. So these are the stages which we normally cross through while trying to scan our document for its correctness. And hence it is mandatory for you to move ahead for any interconversion. Let's say this English document needs to be converted to Hindi or Tamil. We need to check its correctness before giving it to the other person. The same is applied here also in compiler design. Let's have a recap. Programs are usually written in high-level language, which are nothing but high English-like statements. Using compiler or interpreter, we need to convert it into machine-level language, which are nothing but zeros and ones, and that could be easily understood by the machine. This activity of converting a high-level language, let's say you take C, the program will be written as A.C. If you take Python, it will be written as A.py. Phases are two major phases. One is the analysis phase, in which the source program is analyzed for the correctness and gets converted into a standard form. This standard form is then fed in onto the second phase. We call it a synthesis phase, where optimizations and the generation is being applied to give the required output. Actually, we are in need of machine level language in zeros and ones, but for convenience to understand, we write in assembly level language, which is in the form of mnemonics. Let's move on to understand the content of each and every phase. Coming to analysis phase. Again, it contains 4 different phases. This is the first phase of the compiler. The program in high level language will be given as input. For example, it could be a.c or a.py. Tokens as the output. So what is a token? It is nothing but individual meaningful units of the program. You can assume it to be the words. Okay, the words are being broken down, checked for its correctness, and it is given as an input to the second phase of the compiler, which we call as syntax analysis. As the name implies, just correlate this with your Microsoft Word example we have seen. Initially, the symbols will be tested for correctness and the words are corrected, and the appropriate words are given as input to the syntax analysis phase. Now what needs to be tested is the grammar of the individual sentence. It's the duty of the compiler to check whether the syntax of the written statement is up to the programming language or not. It does this by means of constructing a tree called syntax or parse tree. When the construction of tree is perfect according to its predefined format, yes, you can move on to the third phase. We call it as semantic analysis. We have seen in the Word that even though the structure of the statement is correct, like hello learners, the next step is to check whether the meaning is correct or not. Semantics refers to the meaning. Okay, let's say it's not possible for us to add a character with the floating point data type. So that kind of meaning is being checked in this phase, and the output will again be the syntax or parse tree. Syntax tree is otherwise called as parse tree, but with the modification of addition of the semantics. So once this is done, the semantically verified parse tree is given to the fourth phase of the compiler, which is called as intermediate code generation. For example, arithmetic expression. That could be a is equal to b plus c. You can have statement like a is equal to b star d. Statements can be of the form a is equal to d, a is equal to e star f plus c plus g. There is no restriction on the number of symbols or the place of the operator that you can use. So now, as and when the varieties goes off, it is highly impossible for for a software to convert each and every statement to the destination language. So what happened after the analysis of the source program gets over, an intermediate code gets generated, which is in a standard format. That standard format, which we normally use in compiler, are called 3 address codes. TAC, in short, we call 3 address codes. The meaning is that in every statement, you can have a maximum of 3 addresses. Addresses refers to identifiers or constants. At the max, the first statement, 1, 2, 3 addresses are there. There are 3 addresses on the statement. A, B, C, D. It refers to 4 address. Even if you have a statement like A is equal to B plus 9. Again, A, B, C and 9. So, be it a constant or a variable, it accounts to an address. So, there are 4 variables. So, if the number of variables greater than 3, you split the statement into multiple statements. So, let's say N1, N2 and so on, so that every statement can have a maximum of 3 addresses. Once done that, we move on for the synthesis phase. So, analysis phase, what happens in short? The high-level language program is given as input. It's checked for the correctness of the symbols used along with the words. Once it is done, the tokens is given to syntax and is combined together according to the syntax of the programming language using syntax tree or parse tree. Once done, it's moving on to the semantic phase where the meaning of the written statements are being checked and semantically verified syntax or parse tree is being given as output, which is fed to intermediate code, which is throwing 3 address codes as its output. So this 3 address code is now being passed to the next phase, which is code optimization phase. Optimization is more important. Generally, when you go for purchasing any mobile, or any kind of electronic gadgets, there are two things that people will prefer. One is we expect fast, the system or the electronic gadget to be very fast, and we expect the memory to be occupied in a very low level. That's what is the concern of all the viewers. So the fastness, in technical terms we call it as time complexity. The space, memory, we call it as space complexity. So the time of completing a particular task needs to be reduced. The space that is being occupied by a particular program needs to be reduced. So unwanted statements that are part of the program will be eliminated, and unwanted variables, unwanted in the sense which is not adding any value to the program, will be eliminated as part of this code optimization phase and will be given as output to the code generation. So this is again a 3 address code, but now it is optimized to have better time and space complexity. Finally, the code generation phase take its task, which is nothing but identification of registers for storing the important variables which is being run so many times, and finally converting it into machine level language. Actually, for education purpose, you'll write assembly level language code, but in general, it should be a machine level language code, which can directly be run by the system. So this is an overview of both the analysis phase and the synthesis phase. There are two more important phases that is supporting all the 6 phases of the compiler. One, we call it as error handling. Every phase will have some errors. Let's say the first phase, lexical analysis. If I write fi of a greater than b. So what is the mistake? I have just interchanged the characters I and f. So this is an error that will be identified using lexical analysis. So it will give you an error. So in syntax analyzer, if you check a greater than b, then it will say, or it will throw a syntax error stating right parenthesis missing. Then semantic analysis, if you take, okay, if a equal to b, if you write, so this may be syntactically correct, but logically this is like assigning the value of b to a, okay, in which case this is not an error. It will be thrown as a warning to the user, indicating that this may be purposefully written or it may be an error. So this error handling has to be part of all the 6 phases, because every phase, code generation if you take, it may throw some warning stating that all the registers are occupied. So this error handling has to be engaged with all the 6 phases of compiler. Phase that is coordinating with all the 6 phases is said to be bookkeeping. This bookkeeping, in simple terms, you can assume it to be symbol table. Symbol table is just a array type like structure which is going to keep track of all the variables and the constants that are supported in a particular program. Let's say if you have defined 3 variables, if you have a statement like int a comma b comma c. So this symbol table will look like this. A is the name of the variable. This is identifier. Okay. So what is its data type? It is integer. What is the storage space it occupies? Let's say it is 4 bytes. What is the address in the RAM memory that it is being stored? 4080H, let's say. Similarly, the next variable b. If it is of integer data type, then what is the size? Again, it is 4 bytes. This is the symbol table. This will get created during the lexical analysis phase and will be added up with the details modified. Let's say in your semantic analysis, you want to convert C to float due to some reason or other. It will be overwritten by float. So this will be created by lexical analysis, but will be modified and gets updated and will remain at the last till the last phase. So these two are 2 important phases that will be coordinating with all the 6 phases of the compiler. Hope you got an overview of the process of converting a high-level language program into machine-level language. In the next session, I'll be taking you through converting one arithmetic statement and one conditional statement into a machine-level language. Thank you.